Welcome. My name is Zunaid Suleiman, and we've got an interview today with Amro Albanna, who is the CEO of Aditxt. Amro, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'd love to take a look at the big picture and then dive into the nitty gritty of things. So if you could explain to me like on five, give us kind of like an overview of why you founded the company and what is it that y'all do?
So Aditxt is a platform for discovering, developing, and deploying promising innovations. That's who we are. And we founded the company based on a very simple premise. The vast majority of promising innovations, especially health innovations, never see the light of day. So we founded Aditxt with a mission of making it possible for such innovations to make it to the marketplace where people can benefit from.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that because I've always wondered how many great innovations there are out there that we never ever got to see in the marketplace. But with that being said, though, how do you discover, develop, deploy, and commercialize the new technologies? Like, what's the process and what's the vision behind it?
So let's begin with the discovery process. Look, innovations reside in research institutions, innovations reside in corporations and businesses. There are innovations everywhere. So we begin with the discovery process, identifying those health innovations that meet our mandate with focus on precision medicine. And by precision medicine, I mean either the category of monitoring our health or the second category of modulating or preventing or treating a particular indication. Once we identify and bring an innovation in-house, we begin the development process. And the development process for us is building a business around the innovation, starting with product development, the operational infrastructure that is required to bring this innovation to market, commercialization plan, whether it's consumer plan or a B2B plan or even a B2G plan, and that's how we view our development process of taking an innovation forward. And finally, we'll look at the deployment of the innovation, in the marketplace. So discovery, development, and deployment is the core of our process.
Thank you for breaking that down, especially the B2G. That's not something you hear often. So for the folks watching, that stands for business to government. Now that you've kind of talked about your vision, give me a couple of examples of what kind of innovations you frequently see fail that you're supposed to reach the desired marketplace, and why does it really happen?
Look, there is that concept of valley of death. Reality is, majority of innovations don't even get started with the process, with the commercialization process. But once they do, there are many factors that determine their success. It could be capital, it could be product development expertise, including regulatory, it could be operational issues, it could be even commercialization and access to market issues. So there are various factors that contribute to the failure of an innovation. And really the whole the whole mission of Aditxt is to provide an environment conducive to bringing these innovations out to the marketplace. From the discovery phase to the development phase, all the way to the deployment phase.
The valley of death. I mean, that sounds scary, but I get exactly what you mean. And I love that you mentioned the environment, because I feel like no matter what project, company you're running, your friend circle, the environment truly matters to make sure your project and your vision comes to reality. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But I'm curious as to why you want to focus on the immune system. Is there a bigger need for immune modulating innovations than, say, other kinds of health technology?
The immune system plays a critical role. I mean, look, it touches every aspect of our health. And the types of innovations we're focused on is one, either innovations that monitor our immune system. And by that, I mean a way to gain, objective information about our dynamic status of the immune system. So it is key to really focus on understanding our health by the numbers, because you can't really begin to address precision medicine without starting with the numbers and the status of our immune system. So that's one category. And then the second category is what you described as modulation of the immune system, to really bring it back to the state that it needs to be in. So our immune system plays a critical role of our health, every aspect of our health. And we look at innovations that either allow us and enable us to understand our health by the numbers. And the second set of innovations focused on therapeutics that help us modulate the immune system for prevention or treatment purpose.
Yeah, I mean, the way that you've described it is perfect because it reminds me of like a quarterback on a football field, right? Very essential to what you're trying to do on the field and accomplish things there as well. Let's talk about the other subsidiaries that you have. I'm talking about Adimmune, Adi-veer, and Test2Treat.me. How do those combined support Aditxt's vision?
So starting with Test2Treat.me, it is an innovation that we licensed from Stanford University a few years ago. And it is an innovation, really, it's a technology platform that gives us the tool to begin to understand our immune health, the dynamic status of our immune health by the numbers. We brought it in, that was the discovery phase. We started our development, we developed products around the innovation. We established an immune monitoring center out of Richmond, Virginia, up and running. We got the program into revenues, and now our focus is to really get it into growth mode starting in 24 and beyond. So that is the Test2Treat.me program. The second program we have is on the therapeutic side, Adimmune. So Adimmune is a therapeutic platform designed to modulate the immune system. And, think of organ rejection, autoimmune diseases, even severe allergies. They're caused by the fact that our immune system is overreactive. Really, that's when it begins to reject even, our own organ or a transplanted organ. It will begin to fight our own tissues. For example, psoriasis, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, and 80 to 100 other diseases out there that are immune-related diseases. And the same concept for allergies. With allergies, that's when our immune system overreacts to an external substance or an allergen. So generally speaking, I mean, obviously there are a lot more details to go into that, but generally speaking, they are caused by the fact that our immune system is overreacting to something. And for the past 50 years, immunosuppressants have been used to slow down the pace of rejection. With Adimmune, it is a platform designed to literally retrain the immune system to get it to a point where it recognizes a transplanted organ itself, or it will begin to address autoimmune diseases, where it will begin to retrain our immune system to make it re-recognize our own tissues and cells. So that's Adimmune. We brought in the technology from Loma Linda University, one of the leading medical schools, and 2024, our plans is to get it into human trials, starting with psoriasis, followed by type 1 diabetes. And in parallel, we will be doing a clinical trial with the Mayo Clinic first half of 2024 in a central nervous system related indication called stiff person syndrome.
The one phrase that you keep repeating that I think is important to understand is immune health by the numbers. It seems like y'all are very data driven, and that's key if you're going to achieve the type of success you're aiming for. Want to go back to Test2Treat.me. You just announced the launch of Test2Treat.me, and you appointed Ernie Lee as the CEO. How did you identify this innovation, and how does it kind of contribute to, once again, your overall vision for Aditxt?
Right. So look, Test2Treat.me is an innovation focused on the monitoring side of our business to understand our health by the numbers. So we brought in this innovation, as I mentioned earlier, from Stanford University. We developed a business around it. And now is the time for us to have a dedicated leadership, starting with Ernie Lee, to drive the innovation forward. So Ernie is now the CEO of Test2Treat.me and ready to drive this program forward.
By the numbers, you mentioned again. I mean, and on top of that, you've got Stanford University. That's a winning formula as far as I'm concerned. You've got a lot of great things going there. Wish you the best of luck as well. And thank you so much once again. That is Amro Albanna, CEO of Aditxt.
Thank you for having us.